today, standing and just with a little bit of movement. So today we're going to work mostly on stability around the hips, but to start we will work just getting some movement and mobility in the shoulders. So we'll begin by just moving like we usually do on Monday mornings. Today's class, you will need just one block and of course a pillow or something. We're going to do like a half forward fold, so it's nice to have something just underneath you to put your hands on. That also could mean just using a couple of blocks. So I'm just swinging my arms side to side, taking some big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to raise my arms and give them a shake. Shake out to the sides. Staying with the breath, I'm going to move my shoulders up and down and give them a little shake. And then one up and one down. Shake. And now I'm going to give the hips a little shake, a little wiggle. Shake again, just moving my hips from side to side. And now I'm doing a little wiggle. Perhaps let's just give our leg a little swing. So I'm just going to swing the leg forward and back. Still trying to remain in ease through the rest of your body. And just lightly swinging the leg. Relaxing your face. Swing the other leg. Now swing the leg in front of you, perhaps. And behind. And the other leg. So just getting a little bit of movement this morning before we begin. Swinging the leg now behind, bending the knee, kind of going a little diagonal behind, not too much. And now we'll just come to stand. So grounding through your feet. Grounding through those 3 points, look down, see where your feet naturally want to fall. I know one of mine likes to go to the side. I'm going to bring it back in. Standing here, spreading the toes nice and wide. Feeling those 3 points. So the metatarsals of the large toe, the small toe, and then the heel. You may notice that your knees kind of want, if you're one of those people whose knees tend to kind of go inward, and even if not, it's a nice to kind of spread, like you're spreading the feet apart and feeling that in the femur, in the leg bones, feeling them kind of externally rotating a little bit. So just feeling this, feel where your weight tends to go. Are you hanging out in the front? Bring your weight in the back and find your hip bones. Find your hip bones. And this is part of your pelvis, right? You can just practice by anterior and posterior tilting of the pelvis. So just tilting the pelvis back and forth. And anywhere that there is any pain when you do this, don't go there. Just go where there's no pain. And then finding your pubic bone, so your pubic bone, and then your hip bones, your ASISs, and try to get them kind of on the same plane. So you may notice if your hip bones are out further, that means that you're tilting down this way, right? Arch in the back, and when you come up, if you come too far and the pubic bone is forward ahead of the ASISs, you're probably too tucked. So let's just find that in between. Sometimes it means for people that the ASISs and the pubic bone are on the same plane, but find that place that's good for you, okay? That feels like a neutral place for you to be right now. So tucking the chin and feel the neck nice and long, and relax your arms by the side. One shoulder roll, so bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together lightly squeeze the shoulder blades, and let them drop down by your sides, and bring your hands, your palms forward, just to keep those shoulders nice and open. And now let's just practice standing here in ease. Easy breath. Notice how you feel. Is it comfortable, uncomfortable? Is there something that's foreign to you? Just noticing how you feel. Where's your weight? Is there any pain? Is there any discomfort? What happens to your chin? Do your chins start to come out? Tuck the chin back in. And these are all little cues, not just for in your yoga class, but in your life off the mat too. If you stand a lot at work, anytime you're standing around in the kitchen, or anytime that you're just having to stand for long periods of time, trying to find that place of ease, whatever that is for you. And now I'm going to bring the breath and focus on the breath a little more. I'm going to notice where I tend to breathe. Do I want to breathe just from the chest? Am I a belly breather where it's just the belly moving back and forth? And now I want you to take this breath and feel the ribs expand, 360. So it's not like you're breathing more up, it's like you're breathing out, letting your lungs feel. The ribs actually expand, let the lungs expand for you to get a big breath in. So see if you can breathe out, this way, this way. And take a couple breaths like that. And we'll begin. So trying to keep that easy breath, that ease in your body. And we're just going to begin by some half rolls of the neck. So dropping the chin towards the chest, take a breath here. And now we're gently going to roll the chin up towards one shoulder and down and up towards the other shoulder. Nice and slow, and move with your own breath. Nice and slow. I have a little bit of a kink on this side, so I'm going to really respect that boundary there this morning. I don't want to move into that pain. I've been massaging it out. It's almost gone. So just noticing how your neck feels doing this. We'll come forward. I'm just going to gently look over my right shoulder. I'm going to tuck the chin a little tiny bit. Take a breath. Exhale, move over to the other side, just looking slightly over the shoulder, tucking the chin a little tiny bit. Taking a breath here. And exhale, come up. We're going to take the arms now up nice and wide and out to our sides. Come up, inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Inhale again, up. Exhale, down. Remember, when you're bringing your arms up, let's just focus on the movement in the shoulder socket. Do not let the ribs thrust. Do not let the back arch, okay? We're going to bring the arms a little closer in front of you. Exhale, down. And again, now inhale, arms up front. Only let them come without getting help from the ribs. Arms up. Take a breath. Exhale, arms down. Give your arms a little shake. Now I want you to take the arms out to the sides. I got my palms facing up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to bend this one elbow, so I'm bringing the fingers just loosely to the shoulder. So, and now I'm going to turn just like we did a little, like you're going to go over towards your right shoulder. But when you get as far as like where your pocket would be in your pants, I want you to just look down. So it's the same thing as we did just a little while ago with the next exercise. And then what you're going to do, I think I'm down the wrong way. No, wait now, sorry, I got to get this. Yes, so you have your right arm up. Sorry about this, guys. I have to just, I'm kind of confused here. Yes, and then when you move your arm, okay, your head is going down towards the arm that's out straight. Okay, so let's do this again. Arms out, bend this one, and then you're going to bend the head now down towards the left. So I got my right arm folded here, and then I'm just turning my head, kind of looking down to where that pocket would be. And now as I bring this arm over and this arm straight, I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So I'm just moving the neck side to side while moving the arms open, okay? So as one arm comes, you're just moving the neck over to the other side. So it's just, I'm viewing, looking down towards the floor and just moving my head from side to side. And you just do that a couple of times more. Staying with your breath. And one more. And release. Oh, it's hard keeping the shoulders up there. Give them a little shake. Take the arms into cactus now. Lots of work in the arms. The arms may get a little tired, but that's just part of it. So I'm in this cactus pose, palms facing forward. I'm just moving the arms up and down. So I'm moving the arms out down to my sides and moving them up, okay? And down and up and down. Move with your breath. Exhale up. Inhale down. Do one more. Come up. Oh, and bring the arms down again by your sides. Oh, give that a little shake. Maybe you want to give the neck another little tick-tock back and forth. Now, taking the arms, putting your elbows into their sides, palm facing up towards the ceiling again, like you're lifting a tray. I'm just going to open the arms up now wide. So open them up and bring them together again. Open up. So just a little bit of mobility in the shoulders this morning. So open, so I'm keeping the elbows close to my sides. My shoulder blades are flat against my back, okay? And I'm just moving the arms open and close. And when they open, my shoulder blades kind of come a little bit more closer together. And now with the arms open like this, I want you to keep that sensation like in your shoulders and just bring the arms out. So there's a bit of resistance when you're straightening the arms out, okay? So it's like the shoulder blades are staying where they are and you're just moving the shoulders in the socket, okay? So the arm bone, sorry. So you're coming in and out, staying with your breath. Coming in. So you're kind of pushing the arms back, okay? So my arms are out a little bit in front of me here as I reach the arms out and in, okay? And there's resistance. I'm not just woo-hoo. My arms are wide, my elbows are in by the sides. Open the arms and then just reaching your arms out to your sides and coming back in. And we'll do one more of those. Big breath in, hold. And exhale, release, and shake that out again. Give your hips a little shake. And we're just going to do some simple internal and external rotations of the shoulders now. So really thinking about the shoulder in the shoulder socket and rotating that arm bone in the socket. So, and you can bring your arms a little closer, continue the movement. And then bring your arms wider. Move with your breath. Is your chin starting to jut out? Tuck the chin in, feel the neck nice and long in the back. And I'm going to bring the arms, move the arms now, and you just move where you feel Doesn't matter, I'm moving in, and then I'm opening the arms wide. You can bring the arms up a little higher and lower, and we'll come all the way down to the bottom and give that a rest. Take a breath here. Let it go. Take another, feel the ribs this time expand. Exhale, release, come to the top of your mat. And we're going to, actually, I'm not gonna come to the top of mine so you can see me, but you can come to the top of your mat. We're gonna come into some lunges, but before we do that, let's just bring our feet hip width distance apart and just line up your toes. Make sure there's not one foot, a little in front or behind the other. If your legs are super uncomfortable with the feet completely straight, by all means, you can open them up a little bit. But try, if you can, to keep the feet nice and straight. And again, I like to have this feeling like I'm rotating the feet open. Feeling for my ASI and my pubic. I have a tendency to be more with this arch in my lower back, so I have to remind myself to tuck that a little tiny bit. And now I'm gonna put all my weight onto my left foot, and I'm not gonna take my right foot off yet. I'm just gonna bring my weight over and feel what happens in this side. Feel what contraction you can feel around the hip. You should feel some muscles nice and tight around the hip. Come back. Again, really pushing that foot down into the ground. Now feel, okay? Really pushing the feet, and now feel that nice contraction around the glutes and all the musculature around the hips, okay? Now let's do the other side. So again, just lifting, putting the weight here, holding that hip in, not letting the hip come out. And just putting our weight onto that leg. Notice what happens to your knee. Do you want to lock out the knee? I mean, it's not bad if you lock out the knee, but just try with a little tiny bit of, because we don't want to get into that habit of always locking out the knees when we're standing up. So I like to, it's not going to hurt the knee by doing that, but I just like you to keep that nice bend in the knee and release. And again, if you want to raise the foot, really push down. So I was just lifting my toes. You don't want to do that. You want to push the feet down, this foot down into the ground. And then if you want to even lift that side, lift, feel what's happening around the hip. And release. And give that a little shake. So now come to the top of your mat. Put the weight into your left foot just like you did. Feet about hip width distance apart. I'm really spreading my toes and pushing down and pushing, making myself nice and tall. And I'm going to lift this leg, the right leg. So I'm just lifting and placing it back. Lifting, placing it back. I'm not moving. See this? That's just my leg moving in the hip socket. So I want you to see where your movement is. So where can you get your foot without the pelvis really tilting down on that one side, okay? So just playing around with that. Okay, see where that leg goes. And then the next one, you're gonna step it back, but you're only gonna step back to where your pelvis can be neutral-ish, okay? Just meaning that I'm gonna step up a little bit. When I step my foot back, if I step it way back and my pelvis drops, like this bone is going right down to the floor behind me, that's not what I want. Because now my back is arching, come up. I got my two ASI axes. I'm gonna step back, keeping the neutral-ish. If one goes down a little bit, no big deal. You're trying to keep your hips kind of straight. So two headlights of a car pointing forward, okay? So we're in this lunge. Now I want you to have a nice bend in that back leg in this lunge. So we're not in this high lunge where your back leg is straight. I want you to have a nice bend in the knee. Spread those toes in the front foot wide. Push down just like we did. You're going to feel engagement around this hip. That's what you want. This back leg, if you really need to straighten it, if you're really like tiring out, you can. Try to keep a nice bend. You're plugging this leg in, remember. So you plug this leg in, the other hip kind of comes forward and gives you a lot of stability in the hips, making it a lot easier to stay here for a while. So take a breath here. push down with that foot, remember. And now we're gonna just bring the arms up. Just as high as they can go without help from the ribs. So you bring the arms up and bring the arms down. I want you to clasp the hands now in the back and just pull the shoulders away. Take a break if you need to, okay? And taking a break, you might just want to stand up like this and take a break and then bend down in your knees again. So I'm clasping the hands, elbows come in, chin is tucked, nice long neck, and I'm just gonna reach the arms away. And exhale, come, let the arms come. And now if you have it in you, if you're too tired, don't worry, just come up to standing. We're gonna go into eagle arms. So I'm gonna take the arms nice and wide. Big inhale, exhale, cross one over the other. Bring the back of the arms together, not full eagle. And we're gonna reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. Exhale, come down. And step that back leg forward. Give that a little shake. Come back to the breath now. So take your feet hip width distance apart. Spread the toes wide. A little bit like you're turning the feet out without turning them out. Finding that level, nice pelvis. Tuck the chin, arms, shoulders, roll. Let them now just relax down by your sides. Palms facing forward. Come back to your breath. Come back to that place of ease. Relax the face and the jaw. Feeling your heartbeat perhaps. Coming back to the breath. And now we're going to do the other side. So this time, putting your weight into your left foot, widen the toes, nice and wide. Now put like that center, pushing down, the hip comes in just like we did at the beginning. And now just lifting this leg up, stepping it back. And try all the different angles and keep your hand on your hip bone to just see what's going on in your body, okay? If you step way back, or even if you step like here and this hip bone is really rotating, it just means that you don't have that mobility right in the hip right now to move without that help from the pelvis moving, okay? Which obviously if you step your foot way back, the pelvis is probably gonna move a little bit, but with my leg back here, my ASIS, my hip bones are still pointing forward. So if that's not the case for you, maybe just shorten up your stance a little bit, okay? I have mine shortened right now. So again, plug this front leg in. The knee is over the ankle. The toes are wide. You're pressing down through that foot. And now this is our warrior one, okay? So inhale, arms up. Exhale, let them fall. Inhale them up again. Oh, exhale, let them drop. Bring the arms wide. Oh, bring them down. Clasp the fingers again with the other pinky on the bottom. Bring the elbows in. The shoulders are nice and relaxed. Don't be arching. Keep the ribs in. Keep the back nice and long. Taking the arms away from the body. If that's possible, take a breath. Exhale, come down, still holding this in the hips, okay? Still holding, take a breath. And this time, bringing the arms wide. Coming into eagle with the other arm on the bottom now. And taking the forearms towards each other. And with a breath, you can bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale. Down. Release. Now step this back leg. Push down to the front and push yourself up. And give that a shake. Now, Again, you can be on the top of your mat, but I'm going to face you this way, just to show you what we're going to be doing next. So, I want you to just take, so you're standing firm on your feet, nice and tall, and I want you to just bring this leg, so your left leg, hip nice and stable, and I just want you to bring the foot as though you're going to curtsy down behind you, okay? But it's going to be just small. So I'm pushing my bum back, and I'm bringing the leg behind, okay? So it's just the arms can be out for balance. So, okay, that's all we're doing. So I'm sitting back, like I'm sitting back in a chair. See how my back, I'm not doing anything like that. My back is completely straight as it is. I'm just going to, like I'm sitting in a chair and put my foot back and come up, okay? So I'm hinging at the hips. I'm not going down like this, okay? I'm hinging at the hips and you're crossing that foot over. So this hip, nice and strong, push down in the floor, keep the hip engaged, okay? So just doing that, a little curtsy, practice it. On one leg, take a breath, exhale, curtsy. Push out of this leg now and push yourself up. Take a little rest. Let's move on the other side. Spread the toes, push the foot down. Don't have to be a lock in the knee, okay? It can be a little bounce in the knee. And now I'm gonna curtsy behind. You can use your arms up and down. And you don't have to go too far. You don't have to go too far across. You could be going back. You don't have to be crossing all the way over. I don't want this to happen where you're like, the whole body is moving like this. This is a hip. This is about the musculature in your hip. And inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Take a rest when you need it. And come up. And shake that out. So this time, I'm going to get you to take a block, just to add a little bit of fun to it. We went this way the first, so I'm going to put the block kind of behind me where I feel like my foot is going to go. Okay, so I'm just going to play a little game where I'm going to like try to touch the block with my foot. Okay, so I'm putting the block behind me, around my left foot, say, behind my right foot, and then I'm going to try to touch the block, and maybe I'll move it to somewhere where I feel like I'm going to go. So press down, put my weight in my right foot, a little bend in my knee, and now I'm going to hinge at the hip. So I'm just hinging and bringing my knee, bending in both knees. So like I'm going to sit in a chair, but my other foot's touching the block. You may want to move the block a little further. I pushed it too far away. So again, spreading down. Woo, almost fell. And touch the block. Touch the block. And come up. Move the block to the other side. Whew. Lots of work in the hips. So again, left side now. Push, push down. Hip comes in. This leg comes up a little because I'm pushing in. Toes are wide. Press down through that leg. Nice and strong on this side of the body. And now I'm going to go like I'm going to sit in a chair and bring that foot behind to touch. And if your toes don't touch and you're just, don't matter where you are, guys, it doesn't matter. You can just step back a little bit. And try stepping back a lot. Okay. And stay with your breath. Notice where you're tensing. All right, it's okay to tense around the belly because we're putting a load. So you probably are going to want to tense around the abs. Remember, when you are bracing around the abs, do not brace in. It's more of a brace out, like you're pushing, you feel your stomach muscles down here. It's like you're pushing them out. That's how you brace, okay? So just a couple more. Ah. Whew. And release, and give that a wiggle. Let's come to our standing position, our Tandasana, Samastitihi. Spread the toes wide. Relax, come back to your breath. If you want, you can take a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Connect with your breath. Give thanks to yourself for all of this effort. Monday morning sweat on. Feels so good. We're going to try one more variation. And this time you are basically going to see how far you can come down. Can you touch the knee? Ooh. Okay, again, I'm not like going all over like this. Just, again, always stable in that standing leg, a push down in that leg. Bum back, I'm coming down. You may be able to touch your knee down. Who knows? If not, no biggie. Notice what happens to your hips. My hip wants to go down. I went too far. I'm keeping the hip straight as possible, okay? I mean, the hip does go down, obviously, but what I'm saying is I don't want this extreme movement. Keep it going. I mean, if this is too much, maybe just a few squats. Okay, you can do that too. Keeping the legs turned out. Try to keep the feet straight, see what happens. Just giving you guys some options here, okay? One or two more. Push. And inhale, exhale, push. Great job. Whew. Give it a shake, give it a wiggle, give it a swing. Okay, let's just come and stand. Let's get back to our breath. Let's release any tension that probably crept in to the face, the shoulders. Anywhere in our pelvic floor, we sometimes hold everything in. Let that all relax. No need for that muscular engagement right now. Tucking the chin a little. Let the arms fall by your sides. Taking in some deep breaths through the nose and letting it out through the breath. I'm a little winded from talking, so I want to come back. Couple more breaths. Try to bring the breaths around the rib cage, remember. And relax. So open your eyes if you have them closed. And we're just going to do a half forward fold. So I like to have something to bring my hands down onto, and I'm going to use this bolster, but you know, it's nice even if you have a pillow. You might want to bring it up high, and then if you need to, lower yourself while you're there. So I'm going to put a bolster here, and then I'm going to put 2 blocks. I'm going to bring my feet wide, and you can play around with your feet position, okay? Just don't want them out completely wide, somewhere where that's comfortable for you. Bring your hands now onto your hip bones, and we're just going to hinge there at the hip bones. Like I said, we're bringing our weight forward, so if you've got a bad lower back, you may need to brace a little tiny bit. But like I said, you're just pushing out, not holding in, okay? So I'm gonna bring my hips back now, and I'm gonna bend the knees however much I need to bend the knees to be comfortable, okay? So I'm coming down, I'm just keeping the back nice and straight, hinging only at the hips. My bum is going back towards the wall, but this is a little too far. And now I'm going to bring my hands down onto the block. Sorry, you may have to reposition yourself too. So I'm more in a tabletop. And you can play around here. I like to push my bum back, bend in the knees, keeping the neck and the back nice and straight. So it's kind of like a forward fold, but I just want to get some bend in the knees, pushing my bum back. If not, you can just stand here and let your whole body collapse as well. So, so nice. So if you want, you can do a little bringing the bum back first. And so bending the knees, pushing the bum back. And unbend the knees, and then bend the knees again, pushing the bum back. And now I'm just going to fold over. So I'm just going to drop my head wherever it comes. I'm going to bring my hands maybe even to the floor, but I'm not rounding. So when I come down, I'm not going to round my back like this, okay? I'm keeping the back nice and straight. I'm hinging down, hinging down, hinging down. Now I'm going to start bending my knees because that's about the mobility that I have. So I'm bending my knees as much as I need to, and then I'm going to let my head just fall. And I like to have my hands, but you could be anywhere. But basically, I'm folding over. This is way more comfortable for me. I'm not going to do this because you can see right away that I'm rounding in my lower back, and that's not what I'm going for today. So I like to kind of sit back, let my head completely relax, hands on the floor. I'm not too concerned what this looks like, but I love the feeling of being upside down, okay? So just a couple of breaths like this. And now to come up, I'm going to bend my knees right down and then push myself up, okay? I don't like this rolling up. It's a lot of load that you're rolling up. Maybe if you don't have a lower back, if it works for you, go ahead. But I prefer to come up with this straight back, bent knees, and come up. So now we're going to come down onto our hands and knees. We still got 20 minutes left. I'm probably going to do a little bit of core work with you, okay? I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to, because we have a lot of time left, I'm going to put some in there. So come down onto your hands and knees. So I like to just, again, come down into that nice squat. I'm going to open my legs, my feet kind of wide, and I'm going to try to come down into this nice squat. This may not be available for you. If not, just come down into your arms, your hands, and your knees, okay? So, hands and knees, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we always begin with nice, organic movement here. So whatever feels good for you, you enjoy this. Moving your hips side to side or in circles, reaching back, coming forward, whatever it is that you need right now. Trying to keep in mind not to let the back just arch down like this. Let's just keep the ribs in, keep a nice straight back. Perhaps keep the chin a little tucked to keep the neck nice and long. Okay. Nice, strong wrapped shoulders, okay? I'm pushing my hands, my fingers are nice and wide, pushing down through the mat here. And I'm going to extend this left leg, the toe, and I'm going to lift that leg, okay? And bring it down, lift, and bring it down. And if you can, hold. And if you want, take the opposite fist and push it out. Hold, take a breath, and come down. Next side. Nice stable shoulders, right foot out. Lift the right foot up, just as far as the pelvis. You're not lifting it all the way up here. Just again, no movement here. Just the leg moving in the hip socket. If you want, right fist out. Hold. And down. Take a little child's pose. Bring your knees to each side of the mat, toes together, and come and lay down into your child's pose. I like sometimes if you don't have this mobility in your hips to come all the way down, bring the floor to you. And by the way, if you don't have mobility in your hips for child's pose, it's not necessarily somewhere you'll ever get because it depends on your hips and the hip sockets. Anatomically, people will never be able to put their head to the floor, either in sitting, sometimes in child's pose. Some people anatomically will never do it, and it's okay. And some people who can do it, it's not always great to be that flexible if you don't have the strength around the joints. So this is not about what you can accomplish in terms of what the pose is supposed to look like, okay? So you enjoy this child's pose, whatever that is for you, or any resting pose. Come back to your breath, release any tension in your body. Okay, let's come back into hands and knees. This time we're going to try to go into full bird dog. However, if that was enough for you, just bringing the one leg out and bringing it in, you can alternate that, okay? Just alternate that, strong in the shoulders. We do that rapid motion to keep our shoulders really stable in the sockets, our arms, and reach. Now, if you want to take it a little further, and when I say that, don't compensate to take it further. Don't take it further when you know you're imbalanced, you don't have the strength yet. Go back to the first variation, okay? So if not, we're going to reach the foot, reach the fist, make a fist, light fist, and I'm going to bring the knee and bring the elbow in towards without moving the back, okay? So I'm just reaching, bending the knee, bringing the opposite arm in. And see if you can get 5 or 6 of those. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Slowing it down. Exhale, in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, in. Woo. One more. I'll reach. Exhale, in. And down. You can have a little child's pose here, a little rest. Bring your knees together. Sit back on your heels. Have a breath. One more big breath here. And let's go to the other side. So again, hands down, and this time my right foot is going back, so I'm reaching the foot back first. I'm gonna make a light fist forward, bring that leg up so that's pelvis width. And now I gotta move my hands a little bit. And then inhale, reach. Exhale together. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Easy breaths, easy face. No stress around the face. Exhale, together. Inhale apart. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Can you do 2 more? Inhale. Exhale. And release. And have a rest. A nice child's pose. You can just come and sit on your heels if you want. Whatever is most comfortable for you. Come back to the breath. Give the heart a chance to slow down. Bring awareness to their breath. See if you can get in a full big rib breath here, I call it. Mm. A couple more breaths. Relax the face. A little light smile on the face, or big smile, however you're feeling this morning. And now let's come down. I'm wondering if you guys, if you're near a wall, it might be, actually what we'll do is I'll show you, I'm thinking about a figure four. You can do a figure four laying down your back, but it's really nice to do it against the wall as well. So I think you guys know how to do the figure four on its own, so you do it quite often. But I'm gonna do it against the wall and just show you another variation, and it's nice and comfortable as well. And I think what I might do is end with legs up the wall anyway, just so that you can go either into a shavasana with legs off the wall, or you can come out of it and have a normal shavasana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop my bum out quite a ways from the wall. If you're not by a wall, we're going to just go into a normal figure four, okay? But I'm going to turn myself around now and lay down and move my legs. I'm quite far from the wall. So as you can see, I'm going to bring my legs up. I might scoot a little bit further from myself, but we're not trying to get really, really close to the wall right now, okay? So I'm bringing the legs up, and then I'm going to bend one knee. So when you bend this knee, you're going to know, okay, you might even want to go out, because I don't want it right at a 90 degree. I want it bigger, okay? So I'm going to move myself out from the wall. And then I'm going to lift my, well, I'll put two knees up there for now. And then I'm going to take my right leg off the wall, and I'm going to internally and externally rotate the leg, okay? So externally and internal, external, internal. This is the mobility that I have in my hip this way. So now when I have it externally rotated, I'm going, not using my hands. If you need to use your hands, move yourself out from the wall. Without using your hands, I'm going to put my ankle on top of my hip here, or my thigh here, on my knee, and this may be enough for you, okay? Actually, what I should have done is, you can move a little bit closer, and then have the knee not as bent, this left knee not as bent, so externally rotate, put the leg here, and then start to bend this knee that's on the wall. So you're just moving your foot down the wall, and pushing this top knee away from you, okay? And you're gonna find that place that's perfect for you. So I want as well, I should say, keep an arch under your low back. So you may wanna start again, put your legs up the wall, ribs touching, your natural arch underneath your low back. I want you to maintain that. Bend that knee, externally rotate. Now, if my leg starts to flatten, I've gone too far. If my lower back starts to flatten, I've gone too far. I need to bring my foot up the wall a little bit. And then I'm gonna, little bit by little bit, just bring the leg down, but only as far as where the lower back does not flatten to the floor, okay? So finding that spot, perfect place for you. And once you've found it, I want you to really think about pushing that knee out, and you may even want to do a little like rock towards the left and come back. You may need to move closer to the wall or move your leg down a little more. Sorry, you may want to move your bum to the wall a little bit. And then just little tiny movements over towards the left. And perhaps you can bring the leg a little, maybe you can come up onto the toes of the wall, of the foot against the wall. And maybe you can bring your leg a little closer. And release. Again, you may want to, I might scoot myself a little closer to the wall. I'm going to have my legs up the wall here. Bend both. Or maybe just leave the right leg. I'm gonna leave it up a little bit so it's not completely bent into the wall. And I'm gonna do this internal, external rotation of my left leg. And then externally rotate, bring the heel down onto the thigh, just above the knee, and then bend this leg, that foot that's on the wall. And finding that nice sweet spot for you. You can just breathe here. Relax. Again, sometimes I like to do a little rock, like bringing this foot down towards the floor. Some people come all the way into a twist. My back doesn't like that. So I just like giving it a little, getting a little movement. Really nice for the psoas. Stretching the piriformis too, bringing the foot down towards the floor. Try to relax your body and enjoy this little movement. Or you can just stay still as well. You may want to move your foot down the wall a little bit or come up on the toe just to get that little bit more. And we'll release. And here is where you will go. We'll move right into Shavasana. You can have legs up the wall. You might want to scoot your bum closer. It's up to you. I like to have my legs up the wall like so. Some people like to have them a little open. I recommend just having the legs up straight. And now just try to relax here and let the legs just kind of fall into the hip sockets. Think about your hips relaxing here. You can bring your arms out to the sides. You don't have to have legs up the wall. We're moving right into Shavasana. If you want to come down onto your mat, you can do so, of course. I'm just having my arms, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Legs up the wall. And coming to an easy breath. Telling your body that you're now moving into some relaxation. And giving your body permission to let go. Feel the sensations in your feet, whatever that may be. Feel the heaviness of your legs. And letting your legs completely drop into the hip sockets here. And notice if you have any sensations, and please, if it's pain, you probably want to move out of this. So the legs heavy. The pelvis relaxed. Moving with your breath. Not moving with your breath. Relaxing with your breath. Exhale and release. Legs heavy. Your back body sinking into the earth. Face relaxed. Create a little space between the eyebrows, forehead, cheeks. A little space between all your teeth and release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Letting the whole back body release. Feel as though it's just sinking into the earth. Feeling supported. each breath, feeling more and more relaxed. Relaxing the shoulders and the chest, the arms, shoulders, the wrists, the hands. Reminding all those areas that they can let go a little more, a little more, a little more. Sending your hips some love for all the work, your abdomen, your shoulders, your whole body. Feeling grateful and giving thanks. And feeling some love for yourself and love for this day. Setting an intention for your day here. An intention for a peaceful day, an active day, whatever that is for you. You can stay here for as long as you please. I recommend that you stay here for as long as you can, without force, but without any anxiousness for it to be over either. Just giving your body this time to not only relax, but giving your body this attention. Giving your body love for what it can do